Embarking on a speculative journey back into the 1930s, we're going to explore the theoretical landscape of a potential conflict between the United States of America and the United Kingdom. Grounded in the historical backdrop of what was called the Red War Plan, or War Plan Red, which was a series of contingency plans drafted in the 1920s. We'll delve into the military strategists envisioned a hypothetical clash between the two nations during this period of history. It was formulated in the interwar period. War Plan Red was a set of strategic contingencies created by the United States military, where basically around considered potential conflicts between various nations, including the United Kingdom. Although it was never executed, War Plan Red provides an invaluable insight into military thinking at the time and how scenarios for a hypothetical clash evolved in the early 1930s. As the world was grappling with the aftermath of World War I, we're navigating through the challenges of the Great Depression. The military and economic strengths of the US and the UK in the 1930s were markedly different from they were post-Second World War. War Plan Red was reflective of this era and would have considered the evolving geopolitical landscape and the impact of the economic downturns on military capabilities. War Plan Red was rooted in its focus on naval warfare and would have strategically addressed the importance of controlling the Atlantic. In the 1930s, the Royal Navy and the US Navy were still central players in global maritime scenario. The theoretical clash would have explored how each nation could secure dominance and control vital sea routes, and this would have been in the Atlantic and the Pacific, specifically a lot of it in Asia. The 1930s also marked a period of significant advancements in aviation technology. As air power gained prominence, War Plan Red might have envisioned a different aerial dynamic compared to later years. The hypothetical clash would have likely factored in the role of emerging air forces, such as the US Army Air Corps and the Royal Air Force, in shaping the strategic landscape. The theoretical conflict would have faced quite a few logistical challenges, similar to those outlined in the original War Plan Red. Distance, supply lines, and the impact of geography on military operations would have been crucial in the strategic calculus of the 1930s. The distance between the UK and the US is quite significant, and if you're talking a conflict in Asia as well, the US is obviously in a better position in that regard. A conflict between the US and the UK in the 1930s would have occurred in a world poised on the brink of significant geopolitical shifts, and with rising tensions globally, such as a hypothetical scenario could have influenced alliances and strategies on the eve of World War II, altering the course of history in quite a number of unforeseen ways. Despite the hypothetical preparations outlined in War Plan Red, diplomatic resolutions would likely have remained a viable consideration. The diplomatic landscape of the 1930s, characterized by complex alliances and rising tensions, might have influenced the direction of events, preventing or diffusing potential military conflicts. As we ponder the what-ifs of a theoretical conflict between the United States and the UK during this period, grounded in War Plan Red, we gain insights into strategic considerations of this era. Fortunately, history unfolded differently, and these two nations continued their alliance, standing together against common adversaries during this period of history and into World War II. But the plans were on the table at one point, and a lot of it was based around America growing as an empire, and Asia was obviously the target for America because strategically and geopolitically it's a lot closer than Europe. But the big player at the time in the 30s in Asia was predominantly the British Empire. So America obviously could see if a potential conflict of interest there. They wanted to gain a bigger stake in that area of the global trade and influence, and saw that Britain might be a barrier to their future ambitions. Fortunately for the UK, World War II happened, and as a result, British Empire became a lot weaker post World War II, and so there wasn't a stumbling block for the US. Also, Japan, which at the time in the 30s was a rising global power in Asia, they too became exceptionally weakened, and it just post World War II, America was had an easy ride into becoming the dominant economic and geopolitical power within Asia. There was no one in their way post World War II. But prior to World War II, British Empire was the big stumbling block for America, and then obviously Japan would have been. Now, in a conflict with the UK, what America might have done is strategically made an alliance with Japan, in the same way that Germany made an alliance with Russia. And then once Britain wasn't, well, the British Empire wasn't an issue, they could then turn. And I suspect that if this what if had happened, they would then have gone, right, we're gonna give Japan a good slap and put them in their place. We are the main guys here, and no one's going to challenge us. But yeah, so what if? And this is what the War Plan Red we're looking at as a possible sort of what ifs scenario campaign for games like Bolt Action to play out. And obviously, with it being set pre-World War II, you're not going to be have the same equipment that you would have for World War II Bolt Action games or Flames of War, every one you want to sort of what rule system you want to use. So you're looking at early war. And in some of the videos that can follow this, we're going to look at some of the tanks, artillery pieces, armoured cars and small arms that the British and the Americans would have had at their disposal in early 30s, sort of pre-World War II, in our what if campaign conflict. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and cheers.